It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar, today we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, which is a couple of blocks down from Napoleon Avenue, in what used to be the Killing Fields, but now it's the hippest part of town. And here at Wayfair, they have a 3-hour happy hour here every day from 3 to 6, where everything is half price at the bar, including the food, actually. So it's a pretty good deal. What have you guys all got to drink here today? What is that? I
took the bartender's recommendation.
Whatever it was, you don't care as long as it's got alcohol in it. Yeah, you're in the same department?
Yeah.
These guys are in a bluegrass band. This is Craig Jacob.
Jacob and Craig.
Jacob and Craig. Right, I almost had that right.
No, you're close.
I know, it's very close. Let me actually look at the information I have here and see what your real names are. Jacob Tanner and Craig Alexander. Is that correct?
That's correct.
From a band called the Tanglers Bluegrass Band.
Right.
And other bands as well.
Yeah, Mikey B3 Band is also.
So you're about as bad as me. Mikey, you don't even know the name of your own band. The Mikey B3 Band, which is like the Hammond B3,
yeah,
I assume.
Exactly.
Okay, so listen here. Today's show is brought to us by Nola Pens, the only pens made from a fallen Audubon Park live oak. These one-of-a-kind, expertly crafted, limited edition writing instruments add a little greenery to the Mardi Gras season. You can order yours at nolapens.com. Take a look at that, Andrew.
Let me see what you got going on
Look at
here.
that, Andrew. That is an actual pen made from a live oak tree from Audubon Park that doesn't have any artificial color or anything in it.
Wait.
For real.
Wait, what do you mean no artificial color
That's
in
just the color that it came down from the tree.
Yeah,
the
right.
guy who made that, Greg Levy, is going to come and talk to us in a little
Sweet.
bit.
I like the Mardi Gras-ness of it.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi
Also,
Gras.
thanks to Basics on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, where you can get yourself some fine lingerie, as well as a swimsuit, or gym, or yoga clothes with
That
style.
sounds like a great place. I'm definitely going there right after
Katrina
this.
Breeze is here. Look at your outfit, Katrina. What have you got on today? What does he call this?
I've got CamaraLashes.com. I've got
What? That's your eyelashes?
Yes.
I never even noticed those. They're gigantic.
And then a handcrafted headdress by artist Brittany Shaw from La Adorna.
So you're got endorsements for all your clothes here?
Yeah, the rest is Amazon.
So what is the sparkly sequence thing?
Amazon.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. And also thanks to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover, and the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through development and preservation of the arts, music, culture, and heritage. And Luke Hooper is here as well, who invented this thing in front of us.
Yeah, I've invented a few things, and we've got a very colorful game. It's ironic we're on radio, but if you could see it, it would blow your mind.
Well, you know what? You can see it. If you listen to this as a podcast, you can go to our It's New Orleans Facebook page. The Facebook page is called It's New Orleans. You can see a video of this show, and you can actually see, what is this called?
This is called Lumen, and so what it is, it's the world's first wirelessly powered game. It actually has one set of batteries, but these light up pieces that change colors as the field moves to get any color combination possible, actually. Simple rules, but it's very mesmerizing. It actually won an Edison Award. We took it out in New York at a bars, and in a dark bar, this thing blows up so much that I wish I was single when I had it. But I'm a married man, and it was fine.
How long have you been married?
I've been married actually 10 years, coming up this week.
Congratulations.
Good for you, man.
Thank you, guys.
And were you an inventor when you got married, or did you come to that later?
I've always considered myself an inventor.
What did you do when you were single before you got married?
You know, I did a lot of work, and I worked out a lot.
Really?
And that got me into shape, and then hopefully that I was cool enough to talk to that I could get married. So I was that dork early on, and I had a problem meeting women, so maybe this was one of those reasons.
Did you really have a problem meeting women?
I had a big
Even
problem.
though you were like a professional athlete or something to start?
You know, that was something I worked really hard at because I had a lot of time on my hands.
Because you're single.
Because I was
Because no
single.
women wanted to talk to you. It's hard to understand, Katrina. You're a woman. Doesn't he look tall, dark, and handsome to you?
Yeah, he's a really good-looking guy.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd
I
say.
take that as a
Yeah.
compliment. I was a late bloomer. We all go through some awkward years, but
You weren't so good looking at the beginning?
you know, whatever it was, whatever I was doing was not working.
Right.
So it took, until college and later on to figure it out. Hence the city of New Orleans, a great place.
Good. Are you single, Craig? What are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Permanently, or just more of a recent thing?
Probably permanently.
When did you? Were you married
No.
or in a
No.
couple at some point
Never
and then broke
married.
up? Never.
No.
Have you ever had a long-term serious relationship?
Yes.
What happened to that?
I blew it, I guess.
You blew it. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't crazy.
No.
What did you do wrong?
I don't know.
Is being a musician got anything to do with it?
No.
Really?
No.
Are you a full-time musician?
I teach guitar and I play a little bit. Yeah.
But aren't you supposed to be some sort of like hotshot guitar player, like one of the most awesome guitar players ever?
No.
Is that true?
No.
Is that true,
He's pretty good.
Jacob?
Yeah.
He is pretty
He's
good,
pretty
right?
good.
Because you were in Acoustic Swiftness,
Yeah.
as
You
I
remember them?
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was a pretty hotshot band.
Yeah. It was like Latin group. You know?
Right. So you're a really good. You are a good guitar player, right? You have to admit that if you
He's
really
humble.
are.
He's a humble guy.
Yeah.
So-
that was acoustic system was fun. It was it was flamenco and
Right.
Latin style.
You still
stuff.
play that sort of stuff?
A little bit. We
You wanna
kind
play?
of throw it into
Do you want to
this-
do a little flamenco for us right now? Just one like 30 seconds, like the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
album
come on.
too?
Okay,
Like,
we're a bit hooked up here.
it's just
Okay.
what are we gonna do? That
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of that, everybody?
That was wonderful.
Do you guys know the song from Desperado? That is my favorite flamingo song.
We'll learn
It's
it for
okay.
you some other
next
time.
Next time.
It's like request time.
I know. No,
So-
it's like that's what made me want to play flamenco guitar.
Have you ever played flamenco guitar?
No, but that was amazing.
Well, you can learn because Craig gives lessons.
I will talk to him after the show.
How much is a lesson?
$25 a half.
That's a deal.
That's
not
reasonable.
bad,
That
isn't
is
it?
reasonable.
$25, I would say. And
Yeah,
how long does it take before you can actually play? Like 21 lessons or?
Oh yeah.
21 days?
Yeah, 21 days. Yeah.
And you can-
Guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed.
there are guys that do that. There is that learn piano in 21 days. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah.
You don't believe that.
No.
It's kind of
Okay.
like 7-minute abs.
Arms, legs, even abs.
All of a sudden, I have a six-pack from nowhere.
But so what was your actual athletic prowess? You were like an Ironman?
I was an Ironman, so I was a scholarship athlete, ran track and cross country. I vowed that I would never be that guy that was in the best shape of his life in high school or college, so I kept doing Ironman triathlons after that and was able to be competitive enough to win money, but not competitive enough to make a living. It's a very
Perfect
select
segue,
few.
actually. Do you guys know Black Sabbath's Iron Man?
Yeah,
He does, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Just thought I'd tie that in.
Do you want to play that? If you
Do you know it?
Sure.
Nice.
You know it?
Yeah. Yep.
That's the one.
Is he dead or is he blind?
okay,
You know?
Yeah.
This guy's
That's
huge.
not really
Jukebox.
There you go.
acoustic song.
that's pretty impressive.
That's great.
Anything else you want to know? Any other songs you want to call
Well,
out?
let's just keep talking and see what pops up.
Okay,
You know?
okay, just we could come up with another every.
I think we will.
Okay, so you were an Ironman athlete, winning money, like racing
Correct.
for money.
Yes, not
So
very
you
much
must be-
money.
And see, this is what I'm really stumped here because I thought A, playing the guitar, and B, being an athlete was a sort of sure way to pick up chicks, isn't it?
I think you still need the confidence, don't you?
The confidence is key.
Yeah.
Is it?
Winning the races helps build that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did work out later in life. But all those things were steps towards
Was
that.
it the money that came in later and that's why it worked out?
I hope that's not the reason.
Wait, did you
Actually,
jack up your truck or no? You didn't jack up your truck. That was it. You didn't jack the truck up.
If I would have met you guys 10 years ago, my life would be very different.
Yeah, I totally would have gotten you laid. Don't worry.
But now you have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids,
So you don't need
I
us.
did work that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us. So this game.
Yes.
So, well, okay, tell us what this game does. So
Yeah,
if you
how do we
if
play?
you're listening to this as a podcast, we're looking at. Can you describe this? It's a
You bet.
glass plane.
There's pieces of the crag up on a plateau.
This is true.
and
So
there's little rectangles that light up.
when you look at it,
This
there's
looks like a pot smoking type situation.
You know what? I'll say this: it's a incredibly mind-blowing game. When you start to look at it, it's got cubes that light up one of 3 colors, but we can actually create any color in the spectrum by moving the ring around. So
Like that?
you can get literally yellows, blues, purples, pinks. But the real beauty of this game is that you only need 1 set of batteries. So we have several light-up cubes. And they're all literally powered wirelessly. So wireless power is the way of the future. Eventually, we won't need
Wireless.
plugs.
Hang on. Wireless power.
Correct.
Show him the square. Show him the square.
So
T-Rock, are you familiar with wireless power?
you guys should be familiar. Usually, it's for charging a cell phone right now. That's kind of the basics. So most people have a wireless charger, which is kind of a joke because you really just
I
put it
don't
on.
have one.
You don't
Does
have
anyone
one?
here have a wireless charger?
No.
All right.
No.
I don't, but I've, you know,
No.
Nobody here has a wireless
Let me
charger.
start
Luke.
then. You should get a wireless charger. They're kind of nice, but they charge your phone without having to plug it in. So you
But
set
you-
it on a stand. Yeah.
So it has to make contact though, right?
See, and that's the trick, is you got to be pretty close. What we really did that was original here is that we have a range on this thing that goes up for 10,
Oh.
12 inches.
Yep.
And we did it with 3
Call
AAA
that
batteries.
12 inches. Okay, so this is wireless. This can be wirelessly powered through the air up to a foot away.
Yep, you got it. So,
So did you invent this?
I did. I invented this from scratch.
Can we get to the brass tacks here? How do
Yeah.
we play this game?
You bet. So basically, we start with 4 pieces on, and it's simple rules. You're trying to get 4 in a row, much like the old classic Connect 4. So on your turn, you put a new piece into play. You either move a piece of square or you rotate it. But then the fun thing on this, if you're watching at home, is every turn you've got to rotate the ring. So that's going to change the entire field.
So are you like a super genius?
Yeah. Do you understand that?
Because I can't follow this. Are you following this, Katrina?
If
You're
I
pretty
play you,
smart.
is there any chance I'll win?
You bet. There always is a chance to win.
So when you rotate the ring, is there a predictability to how they will change?
You know, that was the
Or is that
biggest
random?
challenge, is that we thought originally that we could just do a notch and it would be beautiful and artistic. As many artists, you're like, this people will perceive it. But there's actually a square with a letter on each cube.
Okay.
And so whenever that square, so we're looking at it right now, there's a G and a square,
Yeah.
lines up with this square,
Right.
that's the color. So if I move it this way, well, that one's over, the blue lines up, and for this one, the red lines up. So
Do you guys
red,
like to
green,
smoke
blue.
weed?
No comment.
Yep,
Are
I'll
you a
say
weed
this.
smoker, Craig?
No, no comment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you like
I
to
love
say
to
yes.
smoke weed.
Yeah, because we're
on,
all
guys.
weed smokers at this side of the table. Because this is like, I'm not high enough to play this.
Here.
Is the
I'll
thing.
tell you, the
I
goal,
can't
the goal
follow.
of this game is that
We can't smoke it
It
in
gets-
here. It's gonna
It's
be-
a vape.
it's hard to create magic these days, and so we're aiming to create magic. The fact that you can't understand it means we did our
Okay,
job.
but you're supposed to get 4 in a row of the
Correct.
same color. Okay.
4 same colors.
So
So
we
you
can
got
keep
it.
playing this while we talk.
So
it's
let's
fine.
do this real quick. So here's the trick on it. So this is 4 in a row, so you would be winning.
So now they're all green.
But
'cause
then if you
moved
spin the ring,
But
didn't
there's
line
no
it
way
up.
to predict that one turned red,
Well,
is there?
there is.
Okay,
And so
tell me
that's
about
what
that.
square right
Are
here.
you following this at
So
all,
see that
Jacob?
square?
I'd
Oh,
have
I
a
see,
hard
because
time.
you swept it.
Whenever
you
that
flipped it
lines
that
up
way.
here,
Andrew
that's it.
is
So
super
there's
smart.
there's a bit of a Rubik's cube thing going on
You
here.
can hit on the head.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
it.
So
Very Rubik's
Oh, it's like a
Cube.
deconstructed,
it's like every time you twist,
illuminated
you're
Rubik
changing
cube.
everything. Yeah.
You got it. And so we've got a whole line of products, from dolls to games to other toys like
Cool.
race cars that charge up in your hand, but that basically lets you play with wireless power instead of just charging a phone.
So why did you call it Lumen instead of Stony Rubik's Cube?
So Rubik's interesting. You got to pay a lot of money to
Yeah,
use their name.
turns out.
Right.
I'm open for better names. This is a working prototype, so it's in progress. So if you guys, while
So-
we're drinking, come up with a better name, it could be it.
I like Lumen actually, honestly.
All right.
Lumen's nice.
Do you like it, Katrina?
I'm up for the challenge. I mean, I do like it. I
Oh.
like the name, but I'm really good at names, so maybe I'll come up with something.
You are.
These actually have more.
This is cool.
Oh, it's just.
That's a
it's
blocker
Oh, I see. And you can
Yes.
move that to kind of
to try to block.
snooker
So we
your-
can all
Ah,
play
okay.
going around in a circle.
Let's have a game. Is this for sale?
This
Or
is
is this
not
a
for sale
prototype?
yet. So this is a prototype that we do in mix. We usually license our technologies. So we have a lot of companies looking at it right now, and we hope to get it out within the next year or two.
Cool.
So you sit down in your shop or your what is it called? A studio or
So
a
our company's
workshop? Or
College Studio, Factor 10.
where is it?
It's actually in Magazine in the Arts District between Julie and Gerard. We're right above Bittersweet Chocolates.
Oh, you're right there. Okay,
Yeah.
you're above the chocolate shop.
You got it. It
Okay,
smells
which is a
lovely.
great spot. And everyone else is just like going to work at the bank down the street or the clothes store. There's a clothes store underneath you.
There
too, isn't
is.
there?
Yeah, you got it.
And you're going up there and you're inventing these
We are a true tech company in New Orleans. So we've got a laser chess game. We've got shoes
laser
that close themselves.
chess.
Yeah.
April's got that over here.
Wow, it's
laser.
even like in shrink wrap. I feel
That
like
one
we're on
is even
Nickelodeon.
better.
This is
Yeah.
great.
So that was the first product that I made in college, and actually a long story. It got knocked off by a major company. It took us 12 years through the Supreme Court, but we won.
Nice, dude.
Wow. Supreme Court.
With
You
the
went to
Supreme Court of the United States,
my
actually.
God.
So we
Good for
not
you.
a fun
Congratulations.
journey, but
No.
it had a happy ending.
Right.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, C-Rock, we could give one of these games away to one of our Patreon
That's why we brought it.
subscribers.
So we brought these for giveaways.
Good
We've
That's
got,
great.
How come we can't hear you?
if you're listening, there is a laser maze and a laser chess up for giveaway.
Okay,
That's
so
killer.
listen, if you want to get your hands on this, go to patreon.com and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour. And it only costs you $1 to register. And then you're in for the draw. We can give away one of these games. So that's a really great idea.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, and what sort of value is that? How much does it cost to buy that laser chess game?
Those one of
Looks
them is $40 and one of them is $30. So
Okay.
$70 value right now.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah,
well,
thank
listen,
you.
okay, now let's get serious about bluegrass.
Amen.
So you guys are in a bluegrass band, which would be pretty unusual in New Orleans, I would think.
Definitely, yeah.
Why did you choose to be in a bluegrass band?
I've always been fascinated with slide guitar, and this is a dobro instrument.
It's a beautiful instrument.
It's a prominent bluegrass instrument.
I think most of the band is from other places too. Most of the band is from other places.
Right.
You know.
And so, what's it like being in a bluegrass band in New Orleans? Is it kind of like being in a heavy metal band where nobody can get any work?
You know, surprisingly, there's a lot of heavy metal bands. in
That's
New
actually
Orleans.
true.
Yeah. You're right about them not working.
They
very
all
much, so.
complain. They all complain that they're not working.
Yeah.
Like you can't get a job as a rock band in New Orleans. Like people say the same thing in Lafayette. If you don't play Zydeco or Cajun music, you can't get a gig either. So where does bluegrass fit in?
Well, we bring in some New Orleans influences a lot, and we usually do co-bills with other bands. And we had a Pink Floyd show where we brought in Mikey B3, and that was received well. And we have a little following. You know, we play Gasa Gasa and places like that around town.
Sometimes.
Right.
A lot of the guys in the band have gone on to have babies and such. So the Tanglers play not as much as we used to anymore.
Oh, so you guys have to make a living doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We do
Tanglers
like
is-
smaller groups, you know. We'll do me and him a lot.
So
or
you guys
three
are
of
a
us
duo.
play.
You play together.
We play
Yeah,
duo
right.
to trios, and the full band is a 6-piece string band, which
And
is
what do you-
that's a lot.
What do you call it as a duo?
What,
Tanglers duo.
kind of still call it, yeah.
You still call
yeah,
the
always
Tanglers,
just call it,
even though it's just the two of you. And have you met the guys in the Tangle?
The Tangle.
Yeah, we get in fights
The Tangle.
sometimes.
Yeah. Because we had those guys on the show, Darcy Malone and the Tangle. So do you know them?
Not very well, but yes,
So who was first, the Tangle or the Tanglers?
that's arguable.
Just
We
own
were
it,
we were
own it.
playing in New Orleans before Darcy lived here, but she swears that she had the name before she moved here. So
This band started a little bit before Katrina, right?
Okay, so they were here. They started this band after Katrina, the Tangle.
Well, if they were just the Tangle, that would be tough, but they're not. They're Darcy Malone and the
And
Tangle.
the Tangle.
So the
Right.
Tanglers. Bluegrass. Do you call it the Tanglers
Tanglers.
Bluegrass Band, or
Yes.
do you just say the Tanglers usually?
either or, but
Yeah.
to specify,
Yep.
we'll put the bluegrass in there.
Totally.
just to-
Yeah.
Have you ever done a double
It's
bill
fine.
with Darcy Malone and the Tangle and the Tanglers?
We've talked to John Driver about that before. It hasn't happened yet, though.
Who is John Driver?
He's booking at the Hi-Ho, I believe, these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
He's a
idea.
good guy, great booker.
There's maybe two other bands that I know of. The Rambling Letters and what's the other one?
What, they're bluegrass bands
Yeah,
or they have
bluegrass
similar
bands,
names?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tangled Strings,
in the-
Tangled Love, Tang.
The
you
buy,
know,
there
they're-
used to be
they're
the
all
buy
out
and
there.
buy.
The Tang.
You're kind of almost, you have sort of a folky bluegrass vibe a little bit.
I can't say that I have any bluegrass prowess whatsoever, but
There's a
folk-
crossover
I got a
in the mix.
folkster. Yeah, absolutely. The folksterness is strong with this one, but
Does bluegrass have a definition or do you just know it when you hear it?
That's a good question.
Finally, I told you it's only
Yeah.
taken 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's specifically defined, but there's more of a sound.
Can I
yeah.
take a guess at what bluegrass is? It's like when there are several stringed instruments and they all take turns soloing, and their solo always changes with the chord.
Sure.
It's kind of, it's kind of, they say it's kind of like bebop in a way.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Or like reggae music, it's defined by a certain beat, you know,
Yeah,
an up-tempo
boom.
beat.
Right.
Okay, let's
Boom chick.
let's play a whole song all the way through.
Yeah, yep.
What do you want? What do you
That's
want
how
to play?
we'll know what bluegrass is.
We're going to do a song by Craig Alexander here called Phillip Street.
Phillips Street. Okay.
Ready?
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. That is super impressive.
When are you guys playing again? I want to go see it.
Our next gig is March 9th at Siberia with Hash Cabbage.
Awesome.
Okay, that's March 9th, 2019,
Hash cabbage.
Yep.
if you're listening to this. Somewhere, the Jacob Tanner and Craig Alexander, otherwise known as the Tanglers. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Actually. Wasn't it, you guys?
Oh,
Seriously.
yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Oh, Mike.
Just a little bit of... Oh, geez, that doesn't sound too good at all.
That sounded bad.
Let's get Greg over here in the meantime. Whoa. Did that whole thing fall to pieces? Oh, no.
No, we're in great shape.
Okay.
Just a simple mic drop after a great performance.
There we go. Yeah. All right. No big deal. Hey, April, let's get Greg over here for a second. Seeing he happens to be here. I want you guys to meet this guy, Greg Levy. And then I want to talk to you, Katrina, about what the hell's going on.
Oh, so much.
Because you're like a superstar
I know.
now. This used to be like a big media appearance for you. Now it's the smallest media appearance you've ever
I don't
made.
know. I was thinking about it today. I was thinking that I get a lot of coverage, but I put a lot more out with you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I feel like you get the real story.
Okay, well, let's get to the real story. First of all, I'd like you guys to meet Greg Levy. Hey, Greg.
Hello, how y'all doing
Grab
today?
this mic. Andrew will give you a mic.
Thank you. Okie dokie.
Greg, this is Craig and Jacob and Andrew and Luke and Katrina.
Nice to
Pleasure,
meet
Okay,
you.
so
Nice to meet you.
Greg is the guy that made this pen.
Beautiful.
It
It's
is
called
awesome.
NOLA Pens, NOLA Pens.com.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
It's kind of, and it's, Andrew didn't believe me when I told him that it's made from a tree. In
The one he is holding looks less like a tree.
Yes, the one you have there, Grant, is made of epoxy and resin,
Right.
whereas the one right here is made from the actual tree, the Audubon oak tree.
So that's made from a tree that fell down in Audubon Park.
Yes, that's correct. In 2014, they had a tree that fell because of termites, and I called the park and I talked to them, and they said that if I wanted, I could have the tree. So as you can imagine, a large oak tree, it took me quite a number of trips to get it out of Audubon Park to my warehouse. And then when it was there, I dried the wood out, cut it up, and then it took about 2-3 years to dry it out so that I could actually use the wood. And since then, I've been selling the pens like this in different designs. The large pen like this, I have a slim and then also a fountain pen. And I have them in different stores around the city. And I thought it was something neat. I remember after Katrina, there was, I think it was the Army Corps of Engineers that went into Audubon Park and chopped up all the trees. But what they did is they just ground them up and threw them away. And I said I couldn't let something like that go by.
Wow.
So I took the opportunity to pick it
Very
up.
enterprising. So this is an actual pen made from a tree in Audubon
Yes.
Park. And what happens now when the tree runs out? I mean,
Well-
the tree doesn't last forever. This is a beautiful pen.
No. Well, let's just say you have an idea how large those trees are.
How many pens did you make? A lot.
I could make enough pens for my grandchildren to take over the
Oh,
business.
okay.
That's how much wood I have.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's a beautiful pen, too, actually.
Thank you.
Did you try writing with it?
Thank
you
you.
I
guys?
did, yeah.
Try that,
So
Katrina.
how much does is it more about ergonomics or creativity when it comes to the lathing part and how you're designing the width?
More about creativity.
Yeah.
On the particular pens, since everything's done by hand, I don't use calipers or anything like that. I use my own fingers to judge what would be comfortable. And each one is done by hand by myself. I have a shop that I run this stuff out of. And it's fun. You know, it's something that you can do by yourself, and it's loud, so there's no phones, there's no one talking to you, and you're able to think about things. So it's fun. It's more of therapy
If
for
you
me
think
than
about too
anything
much, you
else.
cut your fingers off, though.
Exactly. You
So
do have to pay attention.
You can't be listening to too many podcasts while you're doing it.
No, I
Well,
can't.
Let me ask you
Yes,
something.
sure.
When it comes to pens, being a lefty, my hand drags over everything that I write, so it's important that it dries fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to find the intersection between darkness but also quick dryingness. Are you an expert at the actual pen part? or-
Well, I'm not, but I've been in the office supply business before, and a bold pen, you have to worry about a bold ink pen because it takes a little longer to dry.
Right.
But like a medium point, it dries quickly and you're okay. A
Yeah.
fine tip, it would drag, especially if you're left-handed, because I could just see it making that screeching sound.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, cool.
Well, thank you, Grant.
Well, we're very pleased to have you as a sponsor of Happy Hour because we love these pens. They're awesome.
They are.
I'd
Yeah,
love
they're
to see
beautiful.
They are.
I would love to know what the slim. Do you have a slim with you?
Yes, I do.
Great.
Try this. You might have a
He's gonna
customer
bring
right
it
here.
over in a second,
So we
my
can
assistant.
find these at nolapans.com,
Yes.
and they have like a sort of like a diamond on the top. So that's
Yes, it's a crystal on the top.
not a real diamond.
No.
Cuba zirconia. Cool.
So-
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
the,
No, this is
How
great.
do you like that, Andrew?
I'm liking this. This
Yeah,
feels.
on the
This
Monogram
feels.
one's a crystal.
This feels more like the traveling man's pen, and this one's like the office man's pen.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
The bulkier, the one with that's a little heavier, but this slimmer one will travel. I like that. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm into
we
that.
sell the slim ones mostly to women and to men that use a pen a lot. But the fountain pen and the broad tip are mostly
Nope.
gift items.
This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Grant. I
Greg,
appreciate
it's nice
it.
to meet you. And
Same here.
and Greg, these are awesome. Thank you very much for
All
coming
right,
and
thank
being,
you. I
being
really
a
enjoyed
part
the
of
show.
Happy Hour.
Thanks for
terrific.
repurposing
Okay.
them oaks too. This is cool.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have a treat in store because Katrina, how long are you going to? This is my first question I was going to ask you. How long are you going to continue to call yourself Katrina Breeze for?
I don't know.
As Katrina gets further away and Drew Breeze is like,
I know.
fading.
I knew this would happen.
What-
I knew that Katrina Breeze would get big and Drew Breeze would fade out,
And
and
what
that
are you
I'd
gonna
still be
do?
stuck with this name. I don't know. I feel like now I'm in this different arena, and people don't realize it's a fake name, and so I can't change it now.
so this is the brand has taken over the person
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So now you are Katrina Breeze. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know.
How do you feel about that, actually?
I thought you were just calling her by the wrong name. when we first got here.
Well, you've known each other for
Since 2002.
Long time.
outside of before there was a Katrina.
Right,
and
before there
Breeze.
even was a Katrina.
And
Right.
Mardi Gras were made out of cardboard and hanging
Yeah.
in the maple leaf. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
it's a
how
whole
you guys
different
met
world.
over Mardi Gras and the Mardi Bras.
Well, no, before then, but
I
that's-
used to buy weed from a guy that lived kind of near him.
That's how you guys know each other from
Yeah.
weed hookup?
no.
Not at all. Okay.
I would say places like the Maple Leaf, where
And
when
the
her,
Maple Leaf.
her office used to be above there.
You had an office above the Maple Leaf?
Yeah,
I didn't
I
even know you had
did.
an office.
For like 8 years, I had
You had an office.
Yeah, I
More
did.
like a studio.
It was many rooms, and there was an office room, and then there were all kinds of production rooms and art rooms. Yeah.
Well, that's a good spot. So listen, I got your bio in front of me, and I highlighted every time the word founded showed up.
Oh, okay.
It says you founded the Bearded Oysters Parade Club in 2004.
Well done.
You founded the Greening of the Gras Conference, a platform to connect Louisiana residents with solutions to the devastating impact that petroleum-based Mardi Gras beads are having on the ecology.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. I
That's
talked to
worthy.
National Geographic
Why do we do
today
that
about
shit?
that.
National Geographic.
Yeah, they
So I told
called
you
me.
we're
Isn't that
like small
amazing?
beer compared to who
I
you're
know,
normally
but
talking to.
I love you guys. I
I
don't
know,
even know
but-
them.
So now you're in National Geographic talking about how bad Mardi
Well,
Gras beads
I
are.
might get edited out.
But they called you.
Yeah, yeah.
So the whole thing about that is that Mardi Gras beads are bad for us, which is interesting coming that Mardi Gras season is coming up and we're all going to be having thousands of Mardi Gras beads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are we all going to get cancer from that or what?
Maybe not cancer,
What are we
but
gonna-
I mean, you might get it from something else too. But more like lead poisoning,
So, we could get lead
birth
poisoning.
defects,
Birth
things
defects.
like yeah, things like that.
Has anyone actually got anything demonstrable from Mardi Gras beads that you know of?
Well, people would have to come forward and know that that's where it came from. It's really hard to trace why they would have birth defects this way or why they would score low on tests
So
after
there's no
Mardi
study.
Gras.
There's no study that proves that you're right about this Mardi Gras.
All I'm saying is
No.
I remember putting Mardi Gras beads in my mouth as a kid, and
See?
they,
And
now look
they
at
have
you.
a taste, They there's a flavor in there, and that can't, it's not organic.
Did you pick them up off the street?
Well, no, I caught them and then I put them in my mouth.
Okay.
I would imagine. Then again,
Can
I
you
was a
still
kid,
remember
I-
the taste?
Yeah, I
It's
can.
still identifiable.
Yep.
I wish
Yeah.
we had some beads
I
here.
remember that.
Do you ever stick them in your mouth just to go back, take yourself back to childhood?
No.
But she's got the designer's dilemma. Everything ends up in the trash. All we don't want to do is add more and more plastic to
Right.
it. So
Right.
respect the mission.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go on. You also founded I Heart Louisiana. I don't
That
even
was
know
part of that. That
what
was
that is.
the alternatives to Mardi Gras beads.
You founded the Colossus Bike Zoo, which is
Mm-hmm.
people riding around those bicycles with paper mache heads.
Yeah, lots of
Mardi
movies,
Gras.
commercials,
Right.
appearances.
That's a huge thing. You've
yeah,
done a lot
it
of
is.
shit. And then you founded a business called Fantastic Casket,
Yes.
which
oh,
is
yeah. I remember that from that.
remember that from last time you were on here, which
yeah,
is
that's
like
all old stuff. Everything there,
homemade,
old stuff.
which is homemade coffins.
Yeah.
And now you're onto a whole new thing, which is you've entered politics.
Yeah, I am. I'm going into the legislative session.
So tell us about that. Tell us the story about that, because that has also got a connection to Audubon Park.
Yeah, and these pens.
Yeah, right.
coincidentally.
I was thinking about that, actually.
I was like, strange choice,
Yeah,
Grant.
I know. So tell us the story about that. We'll tell the people at the table here.
So back in June, my mom, who was bipolar, was committed to a mental hospital for depression and suicidal ideation after having a bad reaction to a drug. She was able to leave there and actually go to a gun store in Gretna where she bought a gun. And she took it to Audubon Park under the Tree of Life, and she shot herself.
Wow. And survived?
No,
Oh,
did not survive.
didn't. Oh,
no.
sorry, I thought you said
Thank
she
you.
was-
No.
Sorry.
So I couldn't believe she was able to get a fucking gun, because that's absolutely dangerous. And it really, I called the gun store. I asked them about that, and they said that I could not return it.
Why did you find it unlikely that she could have gotten a gun? Anybody can buy a gun.
I guess I didn't know. I didn't realize how anybody could just get a gun anytime. I didn't expect that
But there's
from her.
nothing special about your mom.
Well, she had never had a gun. She
Right.
hated guns. She
But there's no
never
reason
touched
why
a
she
gun.
couldn't have gotten a gun, though.
But she had been committed.
Yeah, she had
before.
been committed 3 times, in the period between, before that,
Yeah.
in the months before that.
When you say committed, does that mean against her will?
No, all voluntary.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still called committed? I thought that was only when you got sent
Okay.
off.
Well, voluntary.
She was a voluntary
staying.
mental health
Yes.
patient
Yes.
for depression.
Yes. Well, specifically for suicidal ideation.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was saying on those 3 occasions, I feel so bad I want to kill myself, therefore I'm going to take myself to
Yes,
the
I'm going to
hospital.
protect
I need
myself
help.
by
So
committing
why
myself.
this time did she actually go through with it?
She said she was tired of going to jail at that place. It happens. This is how it
Right.
happens. Yeah,
Wait,
so...
she wasn't actually in jail, though, when you say jail, was she?
No, but
That's
she
how
was
she
locked up,
felt.
and she
Oh,
had really
was.
given up all her freedoms to be able to protect herself from suicide. So this law that I created, that's going to be going into the legislative session this spring, is a suicide prevention law that enables people who have these types of tendencies or can perceive themselves as being in crisis in the future to voluntarily self-register for a no-sale prohibition on guns, which means that if she was to buy a gun from a licensed dealer, they would call in a background check, and it would have prevented the sale. So right now in our state, we don't have any waiting periods or ways to protect suicidal people from guns. And we have a huge amount of gun suicides here.
Do we have more in Louisiana than other states?
Probably per capita, yeah. I mean, after this happened and I realized how loose our gun laws were, I would imagine that we actually are almost like Denver with the pot shops, that people are coming here to purchase guns, In the,
You can't say things like, I imagine, if you're going to go to the legislature, though. You have to have actual facts.
No,
Is this true?
I don't think any of my senators are going to be listening to your show.
No, but when you go and...
Well, we won't be creating dispensaries
But
yet.
nobody's going to be objecting to this because this is a self-registry. So it's not really a law as such, is it?
Yeah, it will be a law. It's
will
called Donna's Law. When
Your
it
mom's
passed.
name was Donna.
Yes.
And so when you say it's a law, it's...
It's a bill right now.
Okay. Do you know how a bill becomes a law?
It's not like the song.
It's not.
No.
What does actually happen then?
You have to find a lot of rich old white men, and then you have
Well,
to
you're
meet.
good at that.
Yeah, I am
we
good
already
at that.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first step.
And then you have to get these rich old white men to say this is a good idea.
And then
So
and
does
then
there
they
have to
have
be
to
something
tell
in it for
their
them?
senator friends that they're big donors for, and then hopefully you can find some support from the.
Okay, so does there have to be something in it for people, or are they just doing it out of the goodness of their heart? So you have to just talk people into it, or are you having to...
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you really look at the suicide rates, what you learn is that a lot of families have this, and that the most common person to shoot themselves is a white conservative male, which there are a lot of in that scene, and so many of them have brothers and friends that have done this, and they're pretty aware of the situation. And there's a lot of studies too that show that the ability to access guns is actually increasing our suicide rates. So it's not just they'd find another way. This actually is
So what is
triggering
this,
people.
Okay, so what is this law going to actually say? Because a law, usually you think of a law as something that restricts people's activity. This is a law that allows people to do something.
Yes, it allows them to restrict themselves.
Okay, so if this thing goes through, it's going to be called Donald's Law, and it's going to say it's going to set up a self-registering.
Well, right now we have a system called NICS. The NICS.
It's a TV show.
No, that's NCIS.
That's different.
And it's called the NICS, is the background check system that licensed firearm dealers are utilizing. So this enables somebody to put their own name into the NICS system,
Okay.
which is run by the FBI.
So you're suggesting that someone who's suicidal and wants
Or homicidal.
and wants to kill themselves, or homicidal, okay, or wants to kill other people, is going to have a sort of a moment of clarity and call somebody up or something, or go online.
Hopefully.
What gives you the impression that anybody will do this exactly?
Well, I think that there are certain families, like my family, where this is the fourth time this has happened in my family. My mom's the fourth person to
serious?
kill herself with a recently purchased firearm.
Wow.
So
What?
I think there are actually a lot of families like this, especially in Louisiana, and I think those people will sign up. Like, I get emails every day, people wanting to sign up their whole families.
And how would we go about? Can you get $10 off all these people who write to you? Off each one?
I don't really ask them for money.
Well, you
I've
should
been
start.
given $210 so far by people.
You've been given $210.
Yes.
You have to declare that to somebody.
No, I don't.
You just put that in your pocket.
Well-
210, and was that in small bills or?
No, it was in PayPal.
Really? And why are people sending you money? Just to help you?
Yeah, just to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking for money?
I don't think so.
You're just looking for support.
Yeah.
And what
I mean,
are you wearing when you go to these meetings? Because the one time you're not dressing like this, right? Because I can barely look at you.
I've been trained. I've been getting a lot of training in.
Have you really?
Yeah, I really have. I've been getting a lot of training in how to speak about firearms.
Who's training you?
Victoria Coy. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's on a show. She was sitting right there, actually.
I've been
I think she was
working-
wearing an ordinary outfit there.
Yeah, well, she taught
So
me
she's
to
a-
dress like a lady mayor.
Okay.
Not
Lady
necessarily
Mayor.
this
Okay.
lady mayor, but just lady mayor in general.
Not like Mayor Control. But you were, one time you came, I don't know how many times you've been on Happy Hour, a few, but one of the times you were on, you were telling us about your various personalities. Like you have a number of various personalities.
Yeah.
And what was the name of one of them that was more of a business person?
Karen Regis.
Karen Regis.
I know, I should have used that to
Yeah.
make this, but it's too late.
Karen, I forgot about Karen Regis.
I had to leverage my fame with Katrina Breeze to get this done.
You did?
Yeah. I think the name Breeze is really working right now for me.
Have you ever met Drew Breeze
No,
or anyone in the Breeze family?
No, and my dad's a lawyer, and he always says that he's surprised they haven't sued me.
You can't. Well, I guess you're trading on his name in a sense, aren't you?
It's
Yeah,
just
but
a
I think more
surname.
people
Drew
like.
Breeze is the nicest guy in the world. He's not going to send a cease and desist letter to you, is he?
No way.
I don't know. We'll see.
You could get him to
No, it's like
sign up.
satire. So
Right, but this is not funny now. Now we've crossed the line from satire into something much more serious here.
right.
I have a question. So, is somebody who signs up for this, do they have to expressly say that they are signing up for the sake of?
No, they don't
great,
have to
so
say.
it could be for any reason.
It can be for any reason, and it's reversible. And when you reverse it, it will create a waiting period. And it can also there'll be space where you can put email addresses if you would like someone to be notified.
I love it.
When you get off the list, and then we're also working on what that email says that those people will receive. So they would receive information to have
Yeah.
a conversation with you.
And is this going to have to go state by state, or will this become a federal law if you can pull it off?
Well, right now I'm working in Louisiana, and I've also been working in Oregon and Texas on this. I've been getting a lot of calls about it. A lot of states are wanting to do it. I'm getting
You're going to be like famous.
like I literally had like a senator from Oregon like asking through my lawyer if I could help them with social media on this and like how I'm getting, how I've been able to like move this forward so fast.
Well, what is the answer to that question? How have you been able to?
I know. I feel like it's like you need a Katrina Breeze, you know?
It's something, well, because when you look at this bio of yours, you're a visual artist, really, is what you are.
And a performance artist.
And a performance artist.
And a art activist.
But most people would be happy just to survive doing what you're doing, you know, all those things. But you've actually founded all these organizations. That's why I highlighted the word founded all the way through there with my new Noel Penn's pen. Because it is unusual that you're such an activist and you're so organized.
Yeah.
And so Karen Regis-like.
That's true.
Regis-esque.
Yeah. I feel like I have a lot of value to add to the gun violence conversation.
So have you got any feeling about leaving the crazy-ass Katrina Breeze stuff behind and actually becoming a politician?
Like, where's my pussy puppet right now?
Well, I forgot about the pussy puppet.
Yeah.
Don't even mention that.
I get like little emails that are like, I miss your pussy puppet. I can't wait till this
Do you
legislation
guys know about the
is
pussy puppet?
gone.
You must know about the pussy puppet because you're old friends.
No, it's actually like since then. We're like such old friends. He hasn't seen
It's
my
pre-pussy
pussy puppet.
Well, tell the guys about the pussy puppet.
It's a puppet that's a pussy.
I guess
Yeah.
that. I guess that. Yeah.
It's a hand puppet that looks like a vagina
Yeah,
and it
and
goes
it's
around
not
the world.
attractive at all.
It travels.
Yeah.
I would say I beg the two go together, though, because as an artist, designer, anything, you have to be audacious enough to will something that's not in existence into existence and convince people to like it. So that goes hand in hand with legislation. So anybody who's tried to create, been an artist, tried to invent, you're naturally predisposed to go ahead and do all the things she's doing in a cause you believe in. So with gun, this is very interesting because it's hard to get anything through with gun law. This seems like a minor step, but a minor step can lead to many other things. So much respect for it.
Thank you. What's really exciting about this minor step is that we're creating a bipartisan team of people that actually are in support of common sense gun legislation.
That's a pretty amazing thing to do in America today, that you actually have bipartisan support.
I know.
Anything.
I think when I started, I was so depressed. I thought the NRA would just shoot me and I could be done with this. but now I have strange bedfellows with them.
Funny. Hey, do you want to see a pair of shoes that lace themselves up?
That sounds so
Trying to
good.
lighten it up here.
Yeah. Grab these shoes. So these shoes, Luke, tell them about these shoes.
So we actually are a product design house. We also consult businesses, but we come up with our own ideas. I am a newer parent, so if you've had kids, doesn't matter whether they're Velcro, whatever, putting shoes on is a battle in the morning. So I came up with a pair of shoes that as soon as they step into them, of course it does there, they snap closed automatically. So they're self-closing. There's no fancy things. It's not $200. They'll actually cost $30, and they're called slaps.
So you've used the technology of, what do you call those things?
Slap bands.
Slap bands.
Yeah.
Slap band.
It's a slap band.
The whole trick, the
over
trick was
over
that
the-
so that
slap
when you
band
don't put your
shoe.
shoe in, it doesn't actually trigger. So it's only when they actually kind of step into the
down.
heel.
Yeah.
And then this basically closes it up. So the kids love
That
them.
sounds like you could cut a kid's foot off with that as well.
You know, there's always safety is our number one concern in everything we do. And this one we've designed in well, but this is another one. You guys are catching a lot of stuff that are in the prototype to licensing phase, but this one's getting very close.
What's the guy in Batman that you are?
I am the utility belt.
No. You're the guy in the cave who has all the things.
Alfred? No.
Alfred, the
No.
prototype guy. The prototype guy.
I mean, Bruce Wayne does most of himself because he's such a badass.
Is
So
that it? No, I
I'll
thought that
take
was the
Bruce Wayne.
scientist
I'm
down
Bruce
there in the
Wayne.
cave. Oh well.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Lucius Fox.
Is that the
Yes,
guy? Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
I would
you're the
also. I would be
Good work,
happily
Sarah.
Lucius Fox.
Do you make those in adult sizes?
That's another question.
So part of what we do is business analysis is a big part of it, which is the less fun part of design. So with kid shoes, they go through them quickly. It's much easier market to break into. I do have a pair of adult shoes, and we can make them. That would be phase 2 if it goes successfully.
Especially for old people.
That's the second part, where the medical market on this is a huge one, in that we've come up with a very simple, cost-effective solution to where a lot of people can't bend over, they can't use your hands well, and we've actually had a lot of with kids who either have autism or other things that prevent them from possibly doing shoes, because it's a big ego thing. So if you can't tie your shoes, that leads to all kinds of self-conscious, and this gives you a beautiful pair of shoes that you don't even have to tie.
Okay, so what are the chances of, first of all, Katrina's going to be super famous and like
Yeah, she is.
presidential
She already
candidate.
is.
And are you going to be a billionaire?
You know, I'll tell you this. My goal is to invent things that change the world for a positive place on a global scale. If becoming a billionaire is part of that, that's wonderful. But
It would be
largely, I
wonderful
want to
for
make the
us.
world a better place, and I want to do it on a global scale, not local. So this is a tricky part. You want to make sure you don't have this up. So when they actually step in, sorry, we got all the cords here. It just goes over because that's where it's like it triggers up here, then it could go wrong. But there's been a lot of engineering in this actually.
You have a mission. You're an
We have
inventor
a mission.
with a mission.
Our company has a
make the
mission.
world a better place.
Yeah, we've been growing ever since the last 8 years. So we've been steadily growing. Some people call us New Orleans' best kept secret because there's not a lot of tech down here. Our business is referral based only, and then we develop our own technologies that we license out. So a third of our revenue is passive. But I love what I do, and it's been fun in that we've licensed toys, we've done golf clubs, medical devices, you name it.
That is.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of want a pair of those.
You want a pair of those
that
shoes?
is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is advice to anyone who's listening, it's like the two key questions when you develop anything, it's like no matter what it is would you buy it? Hopefully it's yes. And then the next question is how much would you pay for it? Don't tell them a number, and then that determines where your number is. So if you can get those two well, doesn't matter what it is, you can probably sell it.
Well, what if these guys wrote a song for you? Would you give them a pair of shoes?
It would have to be custom at this point, but I'll tell you what, when they come out, I will. And if the song is really that good, I will definitely consider it. Maybe a theme song, a jingle.
Little jingle.
A jingle. What's the name of the company? It's called F10 or
Well,
Factor
Factor 10's
10?
our company, but these are slaps.
Slaps. That's got to be a song in that, right?
Slaps, claps, frats.
Rhymes with
Just
everything.
rhyme it right now.
Snaps.
You can slap it, you can clap it.
Does rats rhyme with it, or is it not a real
No,
rhyme?
near rhyme, we'll call it.
Well, you need a big hook.
We do have a promo
You need
video
it.
that we will
The
send a
shoes
link
you
to
slap
you.
on your feet.
You have what?
We have a promo video that is not out for the public,
okay.
but we'll send a link to you.
Okay, we can put a link on our website. It's neworleans.com to that. Okay, we've got to move along because they kick us out of here at some point. You guys want to play a song?
Yeah,
What
sure.
are you thinking of playing?
We're going to do another original this time by me. It's called Magnolia Special.
Okay.
With slaps.
Can you get the word slaps in it?
Why don't you sing this line?
Andrew.
I'll find a place.
Okay. I didn't hear the word slaps.
Snaps, bro. Snaps.
Get it at the end.
Slaps. Oh, damn.
I had a couple snaps going on here.
I felt
Is
it.
that, how'd you like that song, you guys?
I loved it.
Beautiful.
That reminded me of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Bluegrass.
Is that what it is? The Beverly is the theme to the Beverly Hillbillies. Is that bluegrass?
That's Earl Scruggs, one of the founders of bluegrass, actually.
Ah, did it remind you guys of that?
Totally, yeah. Yeah, that lap resonator
Yeah.
thing, you know.
That's the only bluegrass I knew
Before you started
before I
this?
started it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was
I'm
called
from here, I
bluegrass.
didn't really know.
How did you get into it then?
Just
Right.
friends with them, you know, listening
Right.
to it. They need somebody, so. It's been, it's been interesting though, learning that.
Because
you know.
you didn't know anything about it at all. You're just a musician. And you can play anything, but you can play
Yeah.
anything apparently. Because that was pretty fucking impressive, quite frankly. Wasn't
Thank
it,
you.
Andrew, as a professional guitar player?
I'm just a songwriter, but yeah, that was beautiful. You know, it's really nice to hear. What I said before about bluegrass, it's like the solos that follow the chord changes, but it's more like you're creating melodies with your instruments and trading those back and forth, and that's what's making it interesting. You know, there's nobody singing, so it's hard for me to be excited about the movement, but it's about the melodies that you're creating, that you're trading back and forth. It's really nice.
I've also heard it called hillbilly jazz.
Hillbilly jazz.
Yeah.
Hillbilly jazz.
Yeah.
So the word hillbilly is not an insult, and saying Beverly Hillbillies is not an insult.
Not to me.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, so we've got to get the hell out of here in a minute. But where can we see you guys? So you guys are called the Tanglers, even just as a duo.
Yes.
So it's pretty confusing, but okay.
Yeah, we have a large band that plays in different combinations. You can see the full band March 9th at Siberia with Hash Cabbage. Craig and I will be doing a duo at a Chafalaya brunch March 23rd. And then the Mikey B3 band will be playing the Maple Leaf Bar March 15th.
We never even got onto the Mikey B3 band at
Yeah,
all, which
well,
is like a fun.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But those are our most current gigs.
Okay, very good. All right. And Luke, how do we find all this stuff of yours? Because you certainly are a well-kept
In the
secret.
Bat Cave.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So you can find us at f10design.com.
And how's that spelled? F10.
f10design.com.
Okay.
We don't post a lot of things on the website because unfortunately we work on a lot of things that are not able to be posted, but
Because of the
you
CIA?
can come reach us out. Yeah, I'll say this and that we do work for companies as well as big as Nike and as small startups, so we're also available for hire.
Really?
Yep.
So you're designing stuff for like giant companies?
You would be surprised. We've designed about 50 products for various companies.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. You're a
well, there you
fucking
go.
genius.
Thanks, man. Well, we
I
love
mean,
being
you
in New
invented,
Orleans.
You invented
This we invented from
near-distance
scratch.
wireless power.
You got it. So we really believe there's no limits on what you can make. We try to imagine stuff we want, and then we make it.
When you say we, how many people are you involved with?
So our company now is 7 full-time. We've got about 3 or 4 contractors we work with regularly, but it's been kind of growing ever steadily for the last 8 years, but started with just me.
This is a great thing about New Orleans. It's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know. And
I
I love this
really,
city.
You really don't. You really have no idea. I sometimes think about who you're standing next to at the supermarket having this sort of idle conversation with somebody. There's a super genius who's invented
Well, I appreciate the
wireless
compliment.
power.
But
Crazy. And then the next president of the United States.
No, I'm gonna stay. I'm
Karen
gonna
Regis.
stay on the, unregulated side of politics.
What
That's the best side.
political aspirations could you conceivably?
I just want to hang out at my
Imagine.
house and write legislation. Now that I know
that
how
a
to
job?
make, I think it is. I think
You can smoke weed and write
Yeah,
legislation.
I mean, now that I've gotten
Okay.
so far on this gun bill, I feel like I should have worked on marijuana, but next time. Now
Next
that
time?
Well,
next time.
No,
never
next
too late.
round,
Too late
next
for that.
next legislative session.
Well, if you could get pot legalized in Louisiana like it is in other states, and however many other states it is, that would be an achievement.
Yeah, it
In the
would.
meantime, if people want to help you out with this gun, what's it?
Sure.
Donna's Law Gun
Yeah,
Registry. Just to be serious for
donnaslaw.com.
1 second. donnaslaw.com. Well, I have to say congratulations, because that is a big deal.
Thank you
great.
very
I
much.
don't know if anybody has had a conversation about gun regulation or any kind of legislation dressed like this.
Yeah.
Right,
realistic.
yeah.
With a crown and bizarre. I don't even know what
I
are they
sneak
called?
up on them, you know?
right.
They're not
never see you
expecting
coming.
it from me.
What are these things called? Eyelashes?
Yeah, these
What-
are
I've
paper
never-
eyelashes by Chimera.
And how do you spell
They're here
that?
in town. Chimera.
Okay. That's very impressive, those.
Thank
okay,
you.
so we're still calling you Katrina Breeze for now,
Yes.
although I'm imagining that's going to have to fade away at some
No,
point.
that's going to keep going.
Okay. Katrina, thanks for being here again. It's great to
Thank
see you
you.
again. And Luke Hooper, thank you for coming along
Anytime.
and bringing us this
Very cool.
invention.
We'll
which-
bring you new stuff next year.
and we're going to give this stuff away on
I'm
Patreon.
a 10, by the way, in slaps.
You're a 10 for a slaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 and a half.
You want
And-
some too?
And you guys, Jacob Tanner and Craig Alexander from the Tanglers, not to be confused with the Tangle, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
Introducing us to New Orleans Bluegrass.
Big Easy Bluegrass.
I need Big Easy
clean
Bluegrass. I didn't even know
Bluegrass.
there was such a thing.
That's nice.
And thank you, of course, to Greg Levy, who made these awesome Nola pens, the only pens made from a fallen Audubon Park live oak tree. They really are cool, these pens, aren't they? They're one of a kind, handcrafted, and limited edition. There's only enough, about 1 million of them, apparently.
Maybe not a million.
I don't know how many there are, but there's plenty of them. So go to nolapans.com and check that out. And thank you to Basics on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, where you can get fine lingerie, basics, swim and gym. Also carries a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. And thanks to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. You can find them at hdestroyer.com and get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer by writing the words Happy Hour on the coupon code. And thank you to the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of the arts, music, culture, and heritage. And if you want to take advantage of our free stuff on Patreon, go to patreon.com and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour. And we're giving away to us one of our lucky Patreon people, or maybe more than one.
Yes, we
these
got
awesome games from
laser
Luke.
chess and a laser maze game.
Laser
Award-winning.
chess and a laser
That's
maze.
at least good for like Bozo's third or fourth bucket made, I feel like. You know what I
That
mean?
was a
you
great
go.
show.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll be off for a couple of weeks because of Mardi Gras, because you can't actually get to Wayfair during Mardi Gras.
Right.
But we'll be back here in just a little while. Our show is produced by Graham DePonte, and our associate producer is April Love Stolf. Monique, Kyle, and Christian Unruh are our music producers. Our technical director is Thomas Walsh, and our Facebook live feed director, who put this whole thing on Facebook, is Asher Griffith. If you listen to this as a podcast and you want to see what this all looks like, go to It's New Orleans Facebook page and you see a video of this whole thing. Our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Searock. Searock, our theme music was written by and is normally being played by Mitch Foreman, but today it's being played by the guys from the Tanglers Bluegrass Band. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about 60 minutes while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out many other shows, including other happy hours that we've made previous to this one, and other shows we make around here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Asciuti, live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and our award-winning podcast about death called Death the Podcast. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on a bunch of time-sucking social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our It's New Orleans Facebook page and Instagram account. These photos were taken today by Jill LaFleur. You can find more of Jill's photos at lafleurphoto.com. If you listen to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you have one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. If you listen to this on Spotify, you can follow us and get Happy Hour delivered to you each week. This show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everyone else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here after Mardi Gras for more Happy Hour.
Let's be honest, there are tons of ways to send money back home, and every company promises me the same things: good rates and safe transfers. That's why it can be overwhelming to choose a new way to send money. I switched to Remitly because I can track my money every step of the way, which means I know exactly when my mom will get her money. And with their extensive payment network, my mom can receive her money in a way that is more convenient and safe for her. You should check it out. Go to Remitly.com or download their app to get started. Remitly Inc. is a licensed money transmitter by the state of New York, California, Massachusetts, and other states.